Right. All right, thank you, everybody, for joining the village board for our regular scheduled meeting on March 26, 2024. Please join me for a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Lana, roll call.
Mayor DeBold.
Here.
Trustee Amos.
Here.
Brockman.
Here.
Carroll.
Here.
Chapman.
Here.
Luciano. And Selfridge.
Here.
I didn't hear trustees.
Yeah. I'll try my best. Trustee Selfridge right now, his voice is a little hoarse. He's working on creating that. All right, we do have a quorum for this evening. With that, are there any citizens wishing to address the village board? Seeing none, we'll move into this evening's consent agenda. Item number one will be approval of the regular meeting minutes for March 12th, 2024. Approval of accounts payable in the amount of $1,150,714.46. Item three will be approval of the payment of invoices totaling $49,648.60 to Cargill Incorporated for road de-icer. And item number four will be approval of a payment in the amount of $11,340 to Motorola Solutions for the police body cam subscription. Are there any questions about consent agenda? If not, there's a motion to approve.
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Second. Motion Amos, second Chapman. Roll call, please.
Brockman.
Yes.
Carroll.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Selfridge.
Yeah.
And Amos.
Yes.
Consent agenda is approved. With that, we will move into reports and communications. Lana, is there anything that you had received prior to this evening?
No, sir.
Thank you. So let's keep moving along. We'll move right into this evening's order of business. Item number one will be consideration for approval of a professional agreement with M.E. Simpson Company in the amount of $22,260 for the annual valve exercising program. Public Works Director Norton.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is American Water Works Association, AWWA, recommended best management practice for our water distribution system. We have about 1,300 valves throughout our entire system. The recommendation is that we turn our valves approximately once every 2 years. But for budget considerations, we divided the village into three different sections. So we're one time every 3 years. So the program began in 2019. There was a pause to the program during the COVID timeframe. Then we picked it up again in 2022 and 2023. So we've already completed one round. Now we're continuing with the program. Our budget allows for $30,000 for this program. It is a 3-year contract that is before you. But as I mentioned in the past, every time I will come back here every year just to reconfirm any approval or any change from the village board. So staff is recommending the approval of M.E. Simpson's professional service agreement totaling $22,260 for our 2024 annual valve exercise program. Any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
Find any bad ones last year?
We do. We have a few that, one, we can't find, and then there are a number that we cannot turn. So we're going to either schedule for other options to remove and replace, or there are new technology that we can try, but it gets a little expensive, but we know where to back.
Was the cost about the same last year as well?
Yes.
Was it? Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions on agenda item one?
Make a motion to approve the professional agreement with M.E. Simpson Company, the amount of $22,260 for the annual valve exercising program.
Second. Motion Amos, second Chapman. Roll call, please.
Carroll.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Selfridge.
Yes.
Amos.
Yes.
And Brockman.
Item number one is approved. Business item number two will be consideration for approval of a professional services agreement with M.E. Simpson Company, the amount of $970 for the annual leak survey. Back to public.
Thank you again, Mayor. So this is another BMP for our water distribution system. We have about 100 miles of water main throughout our entire village. Survey is a good practice for us, especially it'll help improve our accountability of our water and also help us remain good stewards of our precious resource. As you are aware, with our Lake Michigan permit allocation from IDNR, we are required to stay below 10% water loss. So this helps us with that accountability. This is the first year of the 2-year contract, similar to our valve program. I'll continue to come back to the village board every year to reconfirm your approval. Our budget for this program allows for $30,000. Staff is recommending the approval of M.E. Simpson's agreement totaling $22,970 for our 2024 annual leak survey. Any questions?
Anybody have any questions for Noriel on this?
Make a motion to approve professional services agreement with M.E. Simpson Company in the amount of $23,970 for the annual leak survey program.
Motion Amos, second Carol. Roll call, please.
Chapman.
Yes.
Selfridge.
Yes.
Amos.
Yes.
Brockman.
Yes.
And Carol.
All right, item number 2 has been approved. Item number 3, the consideration of approval of a certificate of authority with the state of Illinois for our roadway rock salt joint participation.
Thank you, Mayor. So I'm a little early with this. This is the same program that we continually, annually participate with the joint purchasing agreement with IDOT for our road salt. This year, they're requesting a joint agreement, participation agreement ahead of time when we start putting our orders in now. Usually I present this at the village board level in the September, October, November timeframe, right before the season, with the actual bid from the state. But because of the last couple, I'm assuming last couple mild winters, some of the agencies are giving IDOT a hard time in terms of fulfilling their contracts and such. They don't want to take the salt. So with this joint agreement is basically indicating and authorizing the village board. The village board is authorizing that we can actually put the order in. Okay, we use about 1,200 to 1,500 tons of salt per year. We are always trying to be on a low salt diet. We do have a full dome, almost 2,700 tons right now on hand. Our budget allows for $30,000 of road salt purchase next year. So using a conservative average of the last 4 to 5 years of our price per salt per ton, we're going to be ordering around 400 tons this upcoming season. Staff is recommending the village board approve the joint participation agreement with the state for the upcoming 2024-2025 winter season. Any questions?
Yeah, where are we going to store it?
Well, we're not taking it. It just allows us to how much we would order in the upcoming season. Anybody else have any other questions on that? Go
Do
ahead.
we have a minimum that we have to take, that we're obligated to?
80% of 400, 80% of what we order. So I intend to order 400 tons, so the minimum would be 320 tons. And then I could order as much as 120% if I needed. Just running out of figures.
Make the motion to approve a certificate of authority with the state of Illinois for our roadway rock salt joint participation agreement.
Second. Motion trustee Amos, second trustee Carol. Roll call, please.
Selfridge.
Yes.
Amos.
Yes.
Brockman.
Yes.
Carol.
Yes.
And Chapman.
Yes. All right, item number 3 has been approved. Business item number 4 will be consideration for approval of an ordinance authorizing the village of Shorewood, Will County, Illinois, to borrow funds from the Illinois Public Water Supply Loan Program. This item is up for our first read. Public Works Director, no.
Thank you again. So this is for our pumping receiving station and our water transmission main, along with our underground reservoir project, the big project that we have. In order to participate with the state water supply loan program, we are required to approve an ordinance authorizing us to be able to borrow the funds. Now, this should look familiar. I presented this back in September. in the amount of 28 million and some change. Our budget, our engineer's estimate has not changed. However, during our process, our submittals with IEPA, they want additional contingencies just in case. So these additional contingencies, what you see, the difference is what you see. They want us to bring the balance up to a total of $30,080,000. Our engineer's estimate still remains the same, our budget still remains the same, there's no increase yet. Okay. So staff is recommending the village board approve the ordinance authorizing the village to borrow up to the difference of this $1,922,885 from the Illinois Public Water Supply Loan Program and waive the same. Any questions?
If there's,
Go ahead, Tom. No, I was gonna answer the question.
go right ahead, sir.
Diane is, says less than 2%, and that's, you still think that's possible now? From the EPA as far as the interest rate?
So the interest rate is set by statute, and I believe it's, half of the treasury rate, half of the, they set it once per year. So I believe I just heard someone from Joliet say that the rate set last June for the funds that are being dispersed now was still less than 2%, 1.8.
1.8?
Yeah. So is this still for bypass funding, Noriel, or is this for funding for next year?
This is all of the above. So we're trying to get bypass funding, and if we don't get bypass funding, this is part of our submittal, hoping that we get the SR.
I mean, it would certainly be to our advantage to fund as much of our Lake Michigan needs with this program if we can become eligible for it.
Over 20 years, that just a ballpark number, what is that per year? I'm sorry, I should have asked you this before the meeting, I'm sorry.
We also just found out the SRF funds are pretty, a little harder to get. Last conversations, there were about $700 million in funds available throughout the state, and they have $2.8 billion in water requests. So about 25% of the projects submitted are gonna get funding from the IEPA. So there's a lot of interest in trying to get money through the IEPA.
I would imagine that interest rate.
So,
Sorry, 30 million at 2% for 20 years is an annual payment of just over $1.8 million.
So that will fluctuate based on what they declare every year? The
No,
interest rate?
we would lock in our interest rate at the time we accept the funds.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ann.
Yep, thank you.
If there's no further questions, I'll make a motion to approve ordinance authorizing the village of Shorewood, Will County, Illinois, to borrow funds from the Illinois Public Water Supply Loan Program and waive the first reading. Second.
motion trustee Amos, second trustee Carroll. Roll call, please.
Amos,
Yes.
Brockman,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yeah.
and Felder.
Yes. Item number 5 would be consideration for approval of an ordinance directing and authorizing disposal of surplus property by the village of Shorewood. This item is also for a first read. Chief.
This is a continuation of our audio replacement project that we have for this year. We have 7 items that are going to be surplus because they've been replaced with new items. Item 1 is the JVC monitor. Item 2, a Luvo electronics audio base. Item 3, a Pelco amplifier. Item 4, a Pelco audio device. Item 5, a Panasonic recorder, DVD recorder. Item 6, another Panasonic DVD recorder. Item 7, a Telex SoundMate ST300 antenna. Because of the sensitivity of these devices, IT specialists will also take care of the disposal. This time, staff recommends passage of the ordinance and waive of second read to surplus this round. Any questions?
Anybody have any questions about disposal? Motion to approve.
Motion to approve as read,
Trustee Amos,
waive the second read.
okay. Second trustee Carroll. Roll call, please.
Brockman,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Selfridge,
Yes.
and Amos.
Yes.
All right, item number 6 will be consideration for approval of an ordinance changing the names of portions of Town Center Boulevard and Hamptons Lane. This item is up for a first read. Ms. Engel.
So when we approved the town center project, we assumed that the street that would run right through the center of the development, would be called Town Center Drive because it will connect to Town Center Drive in front of the Village Hall and then into the Town Center subdivision. Will County 911 was concerned about that because the Village Hall is addressed as one Town Center Drive and it really shouldn't be. So they thought that having the addresses out of order would be problematic. So we're before you today asking you to rename this. The plot calls for this road here to be Town Center, so we then call it Hamptons Lane, and then this, which was Hamptons Lane originally, will become Lily Pond Drive. Here's a picture of the plat showing the proposed changes. It's basically just to make sure that from an emergency perspective, we don't have a problem.
I have one question.
Sure.
Yes.
Can you go back to the previous picture? It's that circle on Del Webb Boulevard. Will that continue to be Hamptons Lane? See where it says Townsend Boulevard?
Oh, yeah, no, that'll be Hamptons Lane, sorry.
Okay.
And really, we've only really, labeled the street here through phase 1. So when the phase 2 and 3 flags come in, they'll show Hamptons Lane.
So Town Center Boulevard will be Village Hall up into the Town Center 1 section. That'll be it.
When we were approached by Will County 911, it kind of became obvious we could either readdress Village Hall or we could rename the street. Renaming the street is probably easier for everybody.
So that's all that is. Anybody have any questions on the name change?
Seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve an ordinance changing the names, portions of Town Center Boulevard and Hamptons Lane and,
Second.
Motion trustee Brockman and second trustee Selfridge. Roll call, please.
Carol.
Yes.
Chapman.
yes.
Selfridge.
Yes.
Amos.
Yes.
And Brockman.
Yes.
All right, that will conclude this evening's order of business. With that, we'll move into our trustee comments. Trustee Amos.
Thank you, Mayor. No comments, Ben?
Trustee Brockman.
Thank you, Mayor. Our next planning and zoning meeting is still up in the air, whether it's going to be April 3rd or not. We have one agenda item that if it's not here by by this Friday, then if it's not here, we won't have a meeting on the 3rd. But I'm waiting for the library to submit their plans, so hopefully we get it by April.
Keep it on the website, and we'll keep it posted.
Thank you very much.
Trustee Carroll.
No.
Trustee Chapman.
No comment.
Trustee Luciano is not here, and then trustee Selfridge.
No comment, sir.
All right. With that, motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Trustee Amos, motion. Trustee Carroll, second. Roll call to adjourn, please.
Chapman.
Yes.
Selfridge.
Yes.
Amos. Brockman.
Yes.
And Carol.
Well, thank you everybody for coming to a shorter meeting.